There we
Good
go.
one.
Yeah, cool. That's how we legally have to do things now. I guess Rod and Todd, they said they came in and they were like, look, we got this music that we do now behind the ads, and I was like, are you sure? And they were like, yeah, we also want you to use like a mysterious voice.
Fuck yeah.
And we were like, all right. So there we go. There it is.
We're just doing like we're told. You know, we feel like we're the top gear of the podcast.
Yeah, people, they like to think that we're just, a couple of guys making this podcast, from scratch, just by ourselves, and that, we have our own things that we own, but that's not the case. We are put in this business type environment with businessmen, but they let us smoke in this studio because it's 2016 and it's part of our performance. Like,
it's part of our process.
The smoking loophole. Like, you could smoke inside if it's part of a performance art. So that's what we do. Only it's kind of, we bend the laws a little bit because we have prescriptions from our doctors. I guess they're not called prescriptions. They're called recommendations.
Whatever
but either way,
they're fucking great.
Either way, let's get into our very first smoke sesh, which is a theme song for today's Throwback Thursday.
The Natural Habitat Podcast.
Yeah, man.
The Natural Habitat Podcast.
Play that shit.
It's already playing.
The Natural Habitat Podcast.
It's playing in post. Ayo, sound speeds. Check. Sound speed. 1.
This thing recording?
Rolling. Joey on stage, on set, on mic.
Mic check.
I'm going to start doing this every time now. We're getting... Check. Civilin.
Hello.
All right. You want to do some warm-up exercises?
Devil and dope.
That's good if you do... I wonder how that sounded.
Oh no.
I'm sure that this is already turning out to be a riveting, amazing podcast.
Aren't you glad you tuned in?
Yeah. Welcome to the show, everybody. My name is Mikey Booyah.
My name is J. Crew.
Wow. And this is the Natural Habitat Podcast with Mikey Booyah and J. Crew.
Just like the shirt.
Yep. It's Thursday, and that means that I'm already tired of 2016. We need to get the fuck out of here, man. You got the remote?
It's February too. Holy shit.
I know, it's moving quick.
Shit, Jay.
It's moving quick. Let's go back because I'm getting too old and I'm getting scared. So
all right.
Hit that shit. Let's do it.
One of those trace.
All right. I'm gonna put in 1975. Boom. All right. Smell that air.
So 1970s fantasy art,
That's the best part. It's the best part about coming back here.
It's always different. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's always a new smell. I love it. The 70s kind of smell crappy. It smells like a lot of heroin. Smells like fucking pee in the streets.
Yeah, a little bit.
Smells like hairy porn.
Wow.
Smells like a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm. And, I think that it's only fitting now that we're back here in the 70s that we try our best to use some of the terms that were used in the time. All right.
All right.
We actually have this dictionary that our new executive, Rod, we have our brand new executives, Rod and Todd. I don't know if listeners out there, if you caught it a few episodes ago, I think we announced it and, welcome them to the team. They are Greg and Craig's replacement. And Rod hooked us up with this little sweet dictionary of terms from the 70s, which is a thing that we never had. When we go back in time, we don't ever have, slang and colloquialisms that we can use to get people to, feel comfortable with us and make us feel like we're actually in the moment instead of looking at us like we're future people.
Yeah, I agree. This is a cool feature.
Yeah, we always wear our like shiny, puffy jackets and like Kanye West shoes, which I don't know why we always wear this when we go back in time.
You might.
We probably shouldn't.
I'll never wear anything Kanye.
Never wear anything. Well, they're bootlegs, so they're not really made by Kanye, and that's why you wear them.
They're booty hole. That's what they are. They're booty hole.
Well,
they fucking finger in the booty hole.
Well, I was about to ask you about these Kanye shoes. If I was gonna say, hey man, can you dig it? And apparently, your answer to that would be no.
Hell to the no.
You're gonna say that that they're phony.
I'm gonna say
those are some
fuck
phony
that.
ass shoes.
Catch you on the flip side, bruh.
That's what you're gonna say?
Yep.
All right, man. That's a good one because I think that
Dream on.
I think that Kanye's a fucking cheese eater. You know what I mean?
It's far out.
And he's gonna he really just needs to feel the funk instead of trying to make these whack ass clothes and shoes.
Guess we need to tell him good night, John Boy.
All right, we should probably not just read this dictionary for the rest of the episode.
How about may not the force be with you, you motherfucker?
Yeah, fuck you. This is a new thing that we're taking on now. even though we've kind of done it here and there, we're just going to be bashing Kanye because he's on his downfall right now, and it's fun to watch that happen to people that deserve it.
He's going to get down or boogie.
Because he's always had a hairy eyeball. You know what I mean? And
he ain't going to keep on trucking.
Yeah, and he's been giving me the hairy eyeball just for years, and I hate it.
To the max.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's not groovy, baby. Oh man, we need to fucking. I don't know why I'm saying this, but I think that we need to smoke some more.
Oh, suki now.
Is that a real one?
It says it right on.
What's it mean?
I don't know. It says like, oh yeah, baby, or something looks really good. Like, shut up, can't believe it.
Shut up, can't believe it. Oh, suki now.
These definitions are too much. This shit's fucking.
There's one that I found. I don't know if Rod wrote this thing or if he got it written up like from somewhere else, but there's one supposedly in the 70s they said, yo, what up, G Unit, welcome to the hood, home slice, which I'm gonna say that nobody said G Unit at all in the 70s.
Yeah, it's a leap or a stretch, but I can almost guarantee it.
But this is their translation.
Well,
okay,
maybe now we just unconsciously fucking brought it to the 70s in the time machine.
Maybe we should probably not do that. That sounds bad.
What is wrong with this?
We'll find out when we go back. But
one of these days we'll figure out what we're doing.
But real quick, here's their definition here's the translation into English. Yo, what up, G Unit? Welcome to the hood, home slice. Hey, what's up, rapper? Welcome to the community, friend. Welcome to the community, friend.
Sweet.
Yeah, nobody says shit like that ever. And if they
don't have a cow, man.
If they say that, they're a cop.
Let's go smoke a doobie, bro.
Yeah, let's do that right now. You have some music lined up for our smoke sesh?
I sure do, Jim
All right.
Bob.
Well, it's time for everybody to flick your bics, snap your pics, and hashtag them NHP smoke sesh so that we can all smoke along. That's NHP, SMOKE, SESH. Motherfucker.
The 70s were the shit, right?
Damn. Was that Bewitched?
Yeah. I think that been missing out this whole time. Like, since we're from the 80s, we've been really focusing on, like, a lot of 80s shit and then thereafter. And we totally skipped out on, like, a lot of fucking good shit in the 70s. And I'm glad that we're finally here.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that it's, we can go back and revisit all the stuff that we've done and we didn't really go back this far. And there's a lot of shit that the spawning of video games happened in the 70s.
Yeah.
And,
but we're here for TV.
A lot of good film, but today is TV. So, What is the one standout show when you were looking at these lists of shows from the 70s?
There's a few.
Well, what are some of the standouts for you?
I'm gonna say Happy Days.
Yeah,
for sure is one of the most memorable. Three's Company, MASH. What else? Let's see. Chips, Bonanza.
Yeah.
Mork and Mindy. Dukes of Hazzard.
Okay, that's too many. I'm not saying ones that you remember watching. Just
no,
like the
I mean
main
like
ones.
these are like that's what's crazy about the 70s. There was all these huge things that were happening that we totally overlooked. You know, like all these shows were so big and are still super relevant. Look at everybody's like going back to these things. Everybody's like trying to remake all these type of movies and all these type of shows. I mean, like, yeah, I don't know. It was crazy time.
Yeah, I agree.
Super crazy time for TV for sure.
I'm going to say that what I remember watching and what actually ran from 1971 to 1979 was All in the Family. I used to watch that all the time on like TV Land at my grandma's house. And that was one that I watched because I really dug Archie Bunker. Yeah. He reminded me of like a lot of the men in my family that were just all like, bruh, bruh. But like still like good, you know, like hardworking men. And fucking, that was a classic for sure, as well as Happy Days, Three's Company.
Yeah, everybody was on that Happy Days shit.
Yeah,
everybody was on those. One of my favorites that I didn't find till later was the Rockford Files, and that became like one of my all-time favorite shows.
I've never seen it.
It's based in Hollywood. The guy lives on a trailer in Malibu. And he does all his crime fighting and detecting as a private detective out here in Hollywood. And it's, I don't know, it's just a dope show. It's on Netflix right now, I believe. One of those stream things. But it's a really dope show. It's fucking all like good actors for their times. And it was just like, I don't know, it was just super entertaining. Shows back then were just like very simple and like to the point and just had a lot of like entertainment value for the things that the car chases and the fucking shootouts and like all the things like, you know, they started all that stuff that you see now.
Yeah.
You know, all the stuff you see now started in the 70s, I think.
Yeah. And a lot of like amazing actors that are now old and Chevy Chase age, like came out of the 70s, like John Ritter, for example. And there was also a lot of, you know, you got to see a lot of people that are famous today and killing it as young child actors. They'll just pop up in all these shows every once in a while. And a lot of them will do like guest appearances and shit too. Yeah. So if you just watch one episode, you're like, hey, wait a minute. That's fucking, you know, Halle Berry, but she's 3 years old on, you know, some episode or whatever.
You know what else started in the 70s? 1969 was, Sesame Street.
Dang, that's dope.
That's big to every kid. You know what I mean? Every kid in America knows who Sesame Street is and has had it be a part of their life somehow or some way. That was one of my favorite shows growing up too. As a kid, as a real young kid, probably like kindergarten through like third grade or something. That was probably a huge show in my life for sure. I have a lot of memories of that show. So I think like a lot of kids in the developmental stage like that probably still have Sesame Street in their life. All the big stars still go do cameos in the new Sesame Streets, just like they did back in the day when we were growing up. And all that stuff is available now. I guess it's on HBO just brought it out. So it's on HBO now.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy, man, because I remember watching that shit when I was a kid. And there was all kinds of subliminal messaging and shit in it. You know, it's funny that you bring that up because the guy who wrote the Sesame Street theme song was also the same guy who made the Three's Company theme song.
Nice.
Yeah. So, you know, it really doesn't matter if it's a show about a guy with two female roommates that's, you know, banging them both, or if it's a children's show about letters. He's just looking to get paid and make some sweet music that's just going to last forever. So that's dope. Shout out to him.
And I guess looking here now, I'm seeing that Monday Night Football started in 1970.
Man, that's crazy.
I think it was only on Sundays before that.
Yeah, the number one show in the 1970s, according to TV.com, ranked out of all the viewings and Nielsen ratings and blah blah blah, is Coronation Street, which we'll probably only talk about right now. It was the longest running soap opera in the world and the longest running television soap in Britain. So that was the number one watch show. Right behind that was Sesame Street. And then, there's a lot of news shows in this list, but let's see. Price is Right is up there, as well as Little House on the Prairie, Gunsmoke, General Hospital. So Andy Griffith Show was another one that I watched all the time on TV Land at my grandma's house. It's cool because my grandma and her husband, who was a piece of shit, and I'm not going to call him my grandpa for reasons that we're not going to talk about right now, is they used to sit around and fucking watch all their old school shows that they used to watch when they were growing up. So they would watch whether it was VHS recordings or if it was on TV Land or some sort of old school. They had one of the giant satellites in their backyard that you had to clear the grass from, and it fucking just shot up into space. And there was 600 channels, but only 12 of them came in, but it was in there somewhere within the 600. And I remember we used to sit there at my grandma's house whenever I was got off school and was waiting for my mom to get off work or whatever. And we would just watch fucking, the Andy Griffith Show, Matlock, and fucking all this old school shit. So shout out to them for, putting me onto it, because if it wasn't for that, that's really, the only time that I was exposed to it as a child. And that is why I have this interest now and what kept me watching it, as I moved on and, moved into a different house and to another town. I would still, look back at this shit and find these old tapes, and, I could appreciate it thanks to them. So that's dope.
Yeah, and I agree. I think that's where the same place where all my favorite shows come from. It was back in the day, you'd be at your grandparents' house or something, and you didn't have school or whatever else. You're watching all this shit during the day, and these are all the types of shit that was on TV. I remember Sesame Street was on TV all the time. Yeah. Chips was on TV during the day all the time. Fucking Gilligan's Island was on TV during the day all the time. And then as I got older and older and started to pay attention more and more, even throughout middle school and getting into high school, I'd realize what my other parents' favorite shows were, my mom's and my dad's shows and shit. And, and they would be more into Columbo and Rockford Files and all these other ones that I would see. I specifically remember my great grandparents liking a lot of shit, Benny Hill and I don't know. I remember just a lot of shit, a lot of shows. And then I'm glad, because now I have all these things to pull from, all these things to stem from, all these things to go back to and watch. And you know what I mean? I get lost in this shit. I think it's so cool, watching old shit that was actually good. It really set the bar for everything. And you see the lineage of where all the new shit comes from and where everybody really got their starts, and to see the changes that everybody went through throughout their lives and their careers. Some of these guys had long ass careers, that, the guy from, Rockford Files is James Garner.
Yeah.
And you've seen him in a million things, you know what I mean? Yeah. He was the young pimp in that show, so it was cool to see, if you got time later, go back and watch one, you'll see what I mean? Almost every episode is the same, but it never gets old. They had these old shows had these formulas, you know what I mean? Something about them where you could just do the same thing all the time and it just never get old. There's something about it.
Yep. That's fresh.
Yeah, it really is. It's cool.
They definitely stand out. And, I think that there's really only one proper way for us to pay respects to these shows and give them their full dues. And that is to play a round of a little thing that I like to call Guess That Theme Song.
What? Pack your bowls, bitches.
Full House, Seinfeld, Blossom Wings, Hey Dude, Twin Peaks, Dawson's Creek. Wait, was it Sequence DSV or was it P&P? Complete the theme.
Bitch, it's time to play Guess That Theme Song.
Cheers!
But first we'll play Guess That Theme Song.
Sinbad!
And when you play Guess That Theme Song, your
Step by
TV theme
step.
song game SB100. What are you
American Gladiators!
Yeah.
Finger snaps, no claps, just finger snaps.
Wow. Did you know that? Did I tell you about the history of the finger snapping?
Nope.
All right. So, you know how in like poetry clubs when people do spoken words and shit, like
Yeah.
all these hipster artist people, they see this makes me think of that movie, a Goofy movie with. You remember that movie?
Yeah.
Well, people would go like this and snap instead of clapping. And this guy was saying that it was because of people that may have been abused when they were children. The clapping reminds them of hitting or being slapped. So they don't want to bring up any sort of memories, right? So this other dude came up and it was this video like on YouTube and he was talking about it and blah, blah, blah. And I got all these views and everyone was like, "You're so brave. Thank you." And then some other guy came up and made his like rebuttal video and he was like, "No, the whole reason of snapping instead of clapping comes from speakeasies when they used to do shows in like basements and they would serve alcohol and someone would do like a set or something or sing or something like that. And people would snap their fingers instead of clapping and cheering to show appreciation because then the cops would hear them if they were walking by and know that there was something going on and they would get busted." So that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
So that actually comes from speakeasies during Prohibition. So
That's way better than some emo shit.
yeah, there's a fact for you and a little emo bashing at the same
Yeah.
time. That's what we call a
Fuck your
twofer.
feelings.
No, I guess, yeah. Yeah, we call it two things. We call it a twofer and we call it fuck your feelings. So
Yeah.
that's called a twofer. So you got some theme songs pulled up here?
Yep.
I think that I'm feeling pretty good, man.
All right.
Yeah. I don't know if you're going to
That's
be
a
able
great feeling.
I don't know if you're going to be able to
I think all the ones I picked are really easy. They're all super familiar to me. I probably could guess every one that I got.
Yeah?
So, yeah.
All right. Well, I picked all the hardest ones, shows that I've never seen or heard of. So let's do it.
I'm sure.
You want to go first?
No, go ahead.
All right. I got you. I'm going to toss you a softball.
Well, it's not fair.
What do you think?
You already told me the answer to this one earlier.
But do you remember what I told you?
Yeah, it's the Partridge Family.
All right. Well, that is just to test your short-term memory.
You trying to give me freebies, bro?
It's a warm-up, man. That's all that was.
All right.
All right. Let's see what you got.
Let's see what you got. I don't know if you know this.
I got it. I'm ready.
All right, let's see. Here we go.
Oh, I know that shit. That shit right
What?
there is none other than but motherfucking Nanza.
What?
Yeah. You throwing me softballs, man? Everybody knows that.
Well, I'm not sure, bro. I played some that I thought for sure you would have known before, and you didn't. So
You're right. Are you making your own air horn noises over there?
yeah, you saw that?
Yeah. I like it.
I'm too broke to buy some shit. So
All right.
here you go. Help me out, Rod and Todd, you fucks.
Yeah, well, we'll see when we get back to the present if they can help us out, but I'm sure they can't do anything now. They're just babies.
Lady Godiva was a freedom rider. She didn't care if the whole world looked. Joan of Arc with the Lord to guide her. She was a sister who really cooked. Isadora was the first bra burner, and you're glad she showed up. Oh, yeah! And when the country was falling apart, Betsy Ross got it all sold up.
And then there's Maud.
And then there's Maud.
And then there's Maud.
And then there's Maud.
Cheating. Now you just gave me the answer.
Yeah, but you had no idea what it is, so that's going to be a
did.
fail. You're not getting a point for that.
Yeah, I know, but you know, that's cheating.
But hey, eating ain't
Tell
cheating.
people that's Maud if you couldn't tell by the.
In the words of Bill Clinton,
I would have guessed.
eating ain't cheating.
I would have guessed the Jeffersons.
Yeah, it did have that
Even
kind
though I
of
knew it wasn't
zazzy.
Yeah.
It was very jivey.
Yeah. All right.
That's not racist, right?
No,
Okay, cool.
definitely.
What do you got?
I got some fucking hard ones.
Man, I know this shit too. I know it. Is that? It's like I want to say Matlock, but then I want to say the other one,
What other one?
like the other type of show like that. There's another show. What is it? Is it Matlock?
No.
Is it okay? That wasn't what I wanted to say then.
Oh, that other one. Another one. No, it's Charlie's Angels.
Another one. Oh yeah, of course it is. I was like, I know this.
Matlock.
Hey, I know this. All right.
No, it's the other one.
Here's
Another one.
What's the another one? What's the
I don't
other?
know.
What's the other one that's like
I
Matlock?
have no idea. The other one like Matlock, I have no idea.
Dude, don't fail me now, man. What's the other one like
Fucking,
Matlock? There's another like show that's about an old cop, and it's like the same kind of thing.
Columbo, right?
Never mind.
On November 13th, Felix Unger was asked to remove himself from his place of residence.
Jesus.
That request came from his wife. Deep down, he knew she was right, but he also knew that someday he would return to her.
You hearing this theme song back there?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't want to give away the thing. So do you know what this is?
With nowhere else to go, he appeared at the home of his friend Oscar Madison. Several years earlier,
That just gave it away?
No, I mean, the
Bum,
theme gives it
bum,
away.
ba-da, bum, ba-da, ba-da, ba. I'm gonna do the theme with my mouth. This is a guess the theme song first. Bum,
All right.
bum, ba-da, bum, ba-da, ba-da, bum, ba-da.
Is it Adam 12?
No, it's the Odd Couple.
Oh,
You bring it up all the time,
I know.
and you missed it.
I know.
All right, what do you got?
What a shit.
Play me the Adam 12 theme.
All right, I got you, son. You ready?
Uh huh.
It's a good one.
I'm ready.
One of my favorite ones. But you probably don't know because we never talked about it before.
Really?
Yeah.
I know this. Oh, I know that. I know this.
Everybody knows it. All right, what is it?
Oh man.
I
Oh.
love it. I love it. This is a good one.
Fuck. This is what it's all about.
Right?
Fuck. Okay, just play that last part again. Just the part where where it kicked in. God damn. Okay. I'm gonna say, I know I'm probably wrong, but I'm gonna say that it's the $6 Million Man.
You're wrong.
God damn it. What is it?
That's a good guess, but it's Chips.
Chips. Really?
Yeah.
Fuck. Fuck.
If I would have started in the very beginning, it probably would have gave it away. This is the very beginning.
All right.
You hear the motorcycle?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a giveaway right there.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see if you can guess this one.
That's probably the only cop show I ever liked too, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tend to not like cops, but Chips was cool.
You don't even watch Cops?
No.
Oh. Well, what do you think?
That's Sanford and Son.
Damn right it is. That is one of the best theme songs ever created. By far.
Yeah.
It's theme song gold. What do you got? Are you looking?
I got some shit for you.
I got some shit for you.
God damn it.
Are you drunk again?
Yeah, I'm fucking hammered drunk. Alright, here we go.
I knew it. I was gonna say it's the Love Boat, but I was gonna say that sounds like the Love Boat, but I know that the Love Boat goes, it's the Love Boat, and there it was. It was about to do it. Here, just play it for good time, for old time's sake.
Exciting and new.
It's the Love Boat.
We're expecting you.
Every song got that finger snap.
Life's sweetest.
I'm gonna do some disco shit.
Let it flow.
All right, cut it. Cut that shit. Sorry, Love Boat. All right, I got one more for you.
All right.
One more that you're not gonna guess, and then that will mean that I may be victorious.
No.
Oh, fuck! Are you serious?
Shazbot.
Well, any guesses?
Mork and Mindy.
Yep, that indeed was Mork and Mindy. I didn't know that he was going to say fucking nanu right in the beginning. Would have been nice to know. Probably should have listened to it beforehand. But
Yeah.
I like to live risky.
You do, son.
Mm-hmm. You got another one?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what you got.
One, 1 second.
And littering and littering and littering and littering and
Welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out. Welcome back to that same old place that you laughed about. Well, the names have all changed since you hung around, but those dreams have remained and they've turned around. Who'd have thought they'd lead ya? Who'd have thought they'd lead ya? Here where we need ya. Here where we need ya. Yeah, we tease him a lot, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back.
I'm gonna just say by just the theme of the song and the way it was going that is Welcome Back, Carter.
Yeah,
a show that I've never seen but I've heard of.
Yeah.
Well,
That's it. John Travolta starred in that show, so you might have seen it. It was all over TV Land and all kinds of shit.
Really?
Yeah.
I probably did see it. I don't know. Maybe if I was watching the trailer while I listened to it. We got to figure out a way to no, never mind. Bad idea. I got one more for you.
All right, let's see what you got. So far, I'm winning, yeah?
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Oh, you know it. Hey!
That was a really good one, too, by the way.
Yeah, not bad.
One of the best theme songs ever.
Mm-hmm. And you know what it is, don't you?
It's a white 5-0.
Yep, it is. Well, I think
I think I'm winning, bro. I think I got this one in the bag.
I think you might have won. Give me one more, and then if I get this, then we tied.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to go back, and we'll have to let the record decide.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the record says you missed the last two or three.
I think that we should just, when it's close like this, we don't even know until the episode drops. You know what I mean?
All right,
we gotta count. We gotta count them out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me one more then.
Ready?
No.
This is Jim Rockford. At the tone, leave your name and message. I'll get back to you.
You're full of bullshit, my friend. I will sue you for everything you have. I will sue your ass.
What is it?
That is the Rockford Files.
Yeah.
It's funny because if you would have just started it 4 seconds in, I wouldn't have known whatsoever what it was.
Yeah.
But I got it. But I don't know. That might have tied us up. We're gonna have to let the record show.
All right, record.
All right.
Show that I won because I'm feeling it.
I don't know, man. You might feel confident, but that doesn't mean that you made it. So we're just gonna have to see. Have to let the record show. Let the record show.
Another one for the books.
I'm gonna say that we might have tied, but we're gonna have to let the record show.
All right.
So I had some stuff that I wanted to talk about. Happy Days before, while it's still relevant, before all the actors in it die. Happy Days creator Gary Marshall, who I believe is still doing a bunch of work right now as let's see, what is his quotable works? Wow. Good
job.
All of his movies seem to be named after days. His most recent movies are Mother's Day, New Year's Eve, Valentine's Day. But he directed The Princess Bride as well as Pretty Woman and a bunch of stuff like that. He also made Happy Days, which is what I'm talking about, which is what I'm trying to fucking struggle through right now.
Yeah.
It was initially entitled Cool. The name of the show was Cool. But hey, cool. And focus groups didn't like it. And they had to rename the show. But he said that test audiences thought that Cool was about Eskimos. When they asked them, what do you think this show is going to be about? They said, ooh, it must be about Eskimos living in Alaska. So I don't know why people would make that jump, but they had to rename it. And I think it was a good call. I'm glad they did.
Yep.
And
thumbs up to you.
There was also a bunch of spin-offs from Happy Days, depending on how you define it. After it ended, all the actors went on to do their own things, like Laverne and Shirley, Mork and Mindy, Joni Loves Chachi, Blank Sea's Beauties. They all starred characters from that all made their introduction on Happy Days. So it was like a catalyst for a lot of the entertainment that came in the 70s and 80s. So take that, bitch.
Take this.
Sunny day, sleeping up, on my way to where the air is sweet. Can you tell me how to get?
What is it?
Sesame Street?
You got it.
All right. Well, I don't know why you did that, because now I won.
No, now it's a tie.
No, now that pushed me over to the top. So we were tied. Like
Go back and look. I got 4 right in a row. You missed 3 in a row.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter.
And then I gave you a freebie at the end. You were still 3 behind.
In a row doesn't matter. All right. Yeah. No, this isn't Connect 4. All right. This is Guess That theme song, which has an official theme song, and we're just gonna let the record show. We're gonna let the record show because we don't know.
Yeah, record shows. I guess 4 out of 6. That's the record.
Okay, man. Well, just because your memory, you think that your memory holds this record, but I don't see it written down on paper, so that's no record. The record is recorded. Todd?
Hold on. Todd. Can you settle this for us, please?
Todd?
Let us know. We want to know by, what's today? Thursday?
Let the record show that the record, when it comes out of the podcast, will be the release of the record.
Okay, I think you just said that when the podcast comes out, that'll be the record. So let the record show.
All right. Whatever.
So, if we were in fact tied, like I said we were, then that just boosted me for the win. So thank you.
We'll see.
Yeah, I'm just I'm trying to celebrate, but I'm too high. So I just said yeah.
All right.
Oh man, that's good. All right, well, that's it. We're done with this episode because I'm gonna stop it so that we can go back and tally up these theme songs.
We'll be back with an update. Until then, peace, bitches.
The Natural Habitat Podcast.